This is Now Showing.
Dr. Storm, we gave you 6 years and millions of dollars, and you gave us nothing. What's different now?
Strap in and get comfy, kids. We're about to make history.
Reed Richards. He knows answers to questions we don't even know to ask yet.
It's true that we've had a steady stream of superhero movies, bringing to the big screen hugely popular characters from every comic book imaginable.
So, I guess I should come up with something better than one small step for man.
Iron Man opened the floodgates in 2008, and since then we've been inundated with Marvel and DC superheroes almost exclusively. Some having their first big screen debut, like Thor and The Watchmen, and others a fresh reboot of the heroes we love.
Due to a tragic accident, the survivors all exhibit unique physical conditions.
Some of these reboots have been successful, such as Batman and Iron Man. Others, not so much. The Hulk and Superman Returns are the first to come to mind.
Be ready for what's coming.
What is coming?
The answers.
Then there's Fantastic Four. It was not that long ago, 2005 in fact, that the Fantastic Four first hit our screens. A little before superheroes became cool.
You guys sure you're in the best shape to be doing this?
Yeah.
We're good.
This was the time when Chris Evans had his first taste of power as the Human Torch, before he jumped over to Captain America, and Jessica Alba was still a notable actress. Even if it was a little bit ahead of its time, Fantastic Four was a pretty decent success at the box office, and we saw a sequel, Rise of the Silver Surfer, 2 years later. I guess the history is important because there really wasn't a reason to remake Fantastic Four. Sure, Julian McMahon was a mediocre Doom, but I cannot see any reason other than greed to choose Fantastic Four as the next superheroes on the block.
Human beings have an immeasurable desire to discover.
Hey, we know the formula and exactly what happens, let's just do it all over again.
I'm building something.
Miles Teller, who's just come off the back of some pretty rockin' movies such as Divergent and Whiplash, stars as Reed Richards. The other three of the not-so-Fantastic Four aren't really worth noting. Michael B. Jordan from Chronicle is Johnny Storm, Kate Mara is Sue Storm, and Jamie Bell is The Thing.
He becomes so far removed from the human form that he's literally made of rocks.
Let's face it, he peaked at Billy Elliot. It's an origin story that tells you how they got their powers. That's it. That's all I need to tell you. That's all I can tell you.
I gotta say, it's fun having you here.
Really?
No.
The dialogue and characters were completely retarded from scene one, and nothing got better. Reed's science teacher disqualified his science project because it was magic, not science. This was after something disappeared, then reappeared in front of his eyes. I just, what?
When I grow up, I want to be the first person to teleport himself.
Even if you could build it,
I've already built it.
is it next to your flying car?
I'm not working on that anymore.
Then these world-renowned scientists happen to be at a local small-town science fair and discover Reed. Sorry, I just couldn't keep it down. I think it's okay now.
They are dangerous and powerful, which makes them extremely valuable to the government.
I just want to fix my friends.
We can't change the past. But we can change the future.
What? Okay. I think that's everything. There can't be any more.
He's stronger than any of us. He's not stronger than all of us.
Oh, come on! Fantastic Four. 0 stars. The worst film I've seen in a decade. Coincidentally, the same amount of time since the last Fantastic Four. Actually, can I watch that to cleanse my palate? I just have the unmistakable taste of bile and bad script writing. And bad pacing. And bad acting. And bad characters. And bad life choices. And bad casting.
0 stars? Sorry, what do you mean 0 stars?
You can't give it 0 stars. There was something to take away. There was something there.
What? No, there wasn't. There was nothing. But like, you know how you sort of sit and like digest it for a little bit after the credits, and we should probably introduce ourselves.
I didn't digest it. As soon as those credits rolled, I ran.
Yeah,
the lights weren't even up. You know how the lights are still down for like a couple of titles, a couple of intertitles at the end.
It was exactly the same. I was out of my chair.
Sorry, I jumped the gun there. I bit off your end there. But hello, I'm Ben, and you're listening now. Showing.
Yeah, I'm Beau.
Thank you for that review, and we're back. It has been a little while. We've let
me just
3 years and 8 months.
3 years and 8 months.
All it took was you calling me up and saying, "Dude, I just saw Fantastic Four. We're reviewing this thing." I was not looking forward to buying that ticket. As I was walking up to the cashier, you know, I'm cool seeing movies on my own. I went to see this movie on my own Sunday morning, first thing, and I'm okay seeing movies on my own. But as I was walking up there, I was thinking to myself, what can I tell the girl behind the register? Can I say, "Oh, I'm going to be reviewing this film"? Like, does that make it any better? Or, I got to kill a few hours? Or I was looking for excuses. It's like when you're wearing a bad outfit and you go to a party and you don't, like, you sort of, as you're about to get there, you think of excuses and how to say, "Oh, I'm sorry."
I'm wearing this for a reason. It's for a very important reason that you kind of can't quite understand.
This isn't a costume party. But sorry, 0 stars. You took.
I was worse off for seeing this film, and I wish that
I give it negatives. Did you give it 0?
I wish that I could dip into any positive experience that anyone has ever had ever and draw it to fill the void in my soul.
Okay, I'm gonna go against the grain here, and I'm gonna remove the knives in the room before I say this. I didn't hate it.
What?
I didn't.
What? Excuse me?
I was with it. I was watching the film and I was with it until halfway through. You know, okay. This review is going to be it's going to have so many spoilers because...
Oh, but I don't even care because this is going to save you so many hours of your life.
Regardless of whether you've seen it or not. So, you know, they invent this interdimensional thing and they go to another dimension and stuff. They come back and they've got their powers. And this is about 45 minutes into the film. Yes, I know because I was checking my watch. And it does the most annoying thing. It cuts to 1 year later. And they're all in control of their powers. The thing is being used as a weapon in the army. Johnny Storm can fly and can shoot flames. And he's got this really cool suit.
He's going for this new, like, he's basically trying to beat his last record of doing, like, speed runs of drone takeouts and stuff.
And they did, like, the most annoying, the most annoying thing that they do in films when someone runs out of the secure facility. Reed Richards is escaping from this facility. And you think, all right, here's an action scene. We're going to see, Mr. Fantastic stretch his way out of vents and someone shoots him and he bends. No, as soon as he gets out that door of the secure facility, Area 57 in the middle of nowhere, he's gone. They can't find him and he's in Panama. And then, it cuts to a year later and he's wearing the suit that he built. How did he build that suit?
Well, he's Reed Richards. Like, that's not even the problem.
No. The thing is that my main problem with this film is that there are so many scenes missing.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. I'm going on record and saying I didn't hate Fantastic Four here.
See, the issue that I had was, well, one, when you saw... Because the CG, they actually put a fair amount of effort into the CG of Reed Richards.
Pretty good. The whole film looks great.
But Reed Richards... Reed Richards... they put a lot of effort into the CGI of his stretching so that you saw, like, it's not stretching in a suit like you saw in the 2005. It was, you saw his skin and body and bones stretching out. And that in itself was kind of nauseating to me. That freaked me out a little bit. But like in a cool way where I was like, yeah, that's really cool. But like sending shivers down my spine. But the fact that it just cuts to a year later and that first half of the film up until a year later is honestly, even a little bit past it, is just one long
science fair. It's a science fair.
Not just a science fair. It's a montage. Like it's a 50-minute montage of Reed Richards origin story. It's science fair, building the thing.
I'm okay with that. 50-minute montage of Reed Richards' story. That's fine. That's like the beginning of Batman Begins.
But it's nothing. No. See, Batman Begins actually had some grit and some sort of
I agree with you.
backbone of story, because
I agree with you that some beats didn't match, and the scenes didn't quite work. But you saw where it was going. I did have one thing to pull you up on in your review. It wasn't that they just happened upon him in the science thing. They went looking for him. It's because of that Franklin Storm and Sue Storm came and found him.
when was that ever brought up? It was more like,
It was implied.
no, it wasn't. No, he looked in and he's just like, oh, so what does this do? And he said, oh, it moves and changes matter, and I can bring it back. And he's just like,
No.
We weren't able to bring it back.
They didn't just go there. That's
exactly what they did.
They didn't go there and happen to find the exact technology they were looking for.
Yes, they did. That's the thing. That's what's so ridiculous.
No, that's not true at all. No. I agree with you that it's really weird that the teacher sees a year 5 student make matter disappear and then brings it back and it's all charred. And not consider that there's something going on there, even if it was... What could it be? Could it be invisible? Did he make the toy plane invisible? Did he send it somewhere?
Did he use some sort of amazing magic trick? As a science teacher, as just humans in general, when you see something like that happen, you're just like, wow, that's really cool. How did you do that?
Even if it was a magic trick, even if it was like a sleight of hand, Even if he said, "Look over there," and then changed it, it was still a really good trick. It would be a great magician trick. It's like in The Prestige. It's like he makes a person disappear. I don't care how he did it. It looks cool.
It looked amazing. Reed Richards gets up and says, "Hey, I want to be a scientist and make these amazing scientific breakthroughs." And his science teacher's just like, "No, we want a real career here, guys."
Didn't I just say scientist? Sit down.
Sit your ass back down. You know nothing.
Yeah, the teacher was a bit shit. And the teacher should have come back in the end and seen him building a superconductor and gone, "Oh, I was wrong about you." They set him up so much at the beginning to get his ass handed to him, but no, he's
shit for no reason. But then Ben Grimm gets up to give his presentation, and just the look, the frown of him looking at Reed Richards' notes as he's walking past is just like, and that's the whole setup. There's the whole setup of, ooh, I believe this kid. I don't think he's insane or some sort of weird genius who tried to build a flying car but now is working on a matter transporter.
Yeah, I mean, they start talking later on. He comes to his, he comes to the scrapyard and he says, "I need a superconductor," or whatever it was. A power converter. And it was the size of them and they had to drag it and stuff.
Yeah.
And
that was cute. But it was still a montage of... It was still a montage with
What, are you saying you wanted to be protracted? You wanted to be longer? My problem was it was 45 minutes and it felt like... Imagine if they opened on them going, "We've cracked interdimensional travel." Oh, cool. All right, that's fine.
I'm on board. Let's do this.
It was a bit weird that they spent 6 years of their childhood life building this thing, and Ben Grimm didn't seem to really be involved. He
was just there for moral support.
Yeah. Did you bring the toy car? Well, I didn't bring the toy car. That's his only contribution. Yeah, that's his only contribution. They even hang a massive lantern on it saying you didn't do much.
I think the again, this was just an implication of this one little snippet scene that is just this is how we're going to inject storyline and character relationship into the film. We're just going to inject it by this little tiny scene of him giving Ben Grimm giving Reed Richards a little pocket knife with the right Phillips head screwdriver instead of trying to use a knife that's going to strip the head of the screw.
Well, that's good. I thought that was cute. One of them has the physical...
But that was the whole basis of Ben Grimm's usefulness to Reed Richards. That was it.
No, he was his friend. It doesn't matter about usefulness. Now, there's another thing I want to... I love Kate Mara. She was great in it. She was fantastic as Sue Storm. And Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm.
No. Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm.
What? What's wrong with that?
No. He was so just subpar. All right, so the main relationship... the main issue that I had... The main issue that I had with Sue Storm and with Michael B. Jordan is that they were both in it because of the old man father. The father figure in this was the big issue that I had with this film. Because... Imagine
this. Imagine the guy that played Franklin Storm, the father. The guy that says, "She." Imagine if he was Dr. Doom. How much better would have been?
So good.
He had the voice. Him saying Dr. Doom or "There's no victor, it's Doom" would have been so cool.
That was all I was thinking, was that this guy has a really cool voice. his contribution to the story as Franklin Storm was just a plot drive, and that was it. And so all I was thinking was, man, this guy's voice is awesome. So yeah, him as Victor Von Doom would have been the best. There is only doom.
Yeah, it would have been great. Okay, so the worst bit for me, Von Doom.
Oh, really? Von Doom was the worst?
Yeah, absolute worst. He looked terrible in that final sequence. I preferred the Julian McMahon version from the early versions.
In terms of like the costume and the overall look, yes, because basically
and his voice and his pre-story and the fact that he was just a nihilist sitting there at his computer with playing video games. That was his introduction. What kind of villain is that?
What about his relationship with Sue Storm as well? It's like, I had plans for a Sue, and then he just what?
Which leads me. There's one scene missing. There would be one scene that could sort of fix the film for me. So
I really hope that you're thinking of the same scene that I think it needs to be included as well. But let's do it.
I have a whole I got a list, but there's one. If they could put one scene into this film, it would save it for me. It would be Von Doom coming back to Earth. So they collect him from Planet Zero. Terrible name. They bring him back, and he instantly wakes up and tries to kill everyone. He wakes up and goes, "You're not taking my planet," referring to Planet Zero. And he goes back there and opens up a wormhole of some sort and tries to destroy Earth.
And basically siphons all the matter out of Earth into his world to use as energy. That's this is the end game. This is his end game that the Fantastic Four band together to stop.
The scene that was missing was like a dual hander of seeing them use the Thing and the Human Torch as weapons for the army. Because they'd set that up. The Thing was being used as a tool against foreign nations. And the Human Torch was about to go into the field and mess some shit up. If Von Doom came back and saw what they were doing and knew how powerful he was, and they went, "Oh, you know, I can see what humans do. You're not going to destroy, I'm going to destroy all of you before you destroy each other." Or something like that. Also fueled by his jealousy with Sue Storm. He comes back and maybe she was disgusted by how he's changed, or she doesn't understand his new power or anything like that. Any motivation once he came back, because he'd been on his own in this wasteland for a year, and he comes back and there's no change. Do you know what I mean? He's obviously planned this from out there. We didn't get to see any of that. If that scene was in there, you could suddenly understand his motivations, and you could understand their motivations for stopping him. Because when he was going onto the transporter, I was like, why are they fighting? Couldn't he just, get in that teleporter and go back to Planet Zero? And then everyone's honky-dory,
That's what I mean by the Franklin Storm's the plot driver for that, is that's all Franklin is. Because the reason that they're going after him is like, "You're still human, Victor Von Doom. Come back and we'll integrate you back into society. Look how well we're doing." That was kind of what the premise was. It's like, we can still save you. You're still not over the edge into being evil genius Dr. Doom yet.
He stands up, says yes, and everyone explodes.
Yeah.
Everyone breaks into blood. There's no fight at all. He's not learning his abilities. We didn't get to see that in Planet Zero.
He just obliterates everyone. And like that's cool. I didn't mind that. I thought that the OP incredibly scarily strong Doom was really cool. Yeah, and then he basically kills Franklin Storm.
Did he? I don't remember that. Oh yeah, he's on the ground.
That was why they were just like, "No!"
Really?
Yeah.
That wasn't why, was it? Because they didn't do anything. They just said no and he got in the transporter and disappeared.
That was it. And then they were just like, "Well, we got to go after him to save the world now."
Okay, and
Franklin Storm's dead. Let's unite as Fantastic Four.
And then Sue Storm, who has been practicing in like a warehouse, moving empty containers, suddenly builds a
giant sphere around two other dudes
and goes interdimensional travel and lands on the other side without so much as a that was pretty cool, or without any reaction at all. Also, immediately after that, Reed Richards, his suit has been destroyed. He's been living in this like superconductor suit for a year, and Dr. Doom.
The whole point is that he can't control his stretchiness. Yeah, so he has this suit that basically is like coiled springs and keeps him contained.
And Doom breaks it, and he almost instantly learns to use his powers.
Yeah.
And once again, without any reaction at all, he just stands up and then starts to fight again. It was like, that's supposed to be a big moment. Imagine a swelling chorus and like strings building up. You'd sort of be like, yes, go Reed, go!
I'm sorry. Do you want to be invested in this film at all? No, that's not going to happen.
Okay, look, we've been ragging. We've been ragging on it for a couple of minutes.
I don't think that there's been enough ragging.
I know, but I had some things I liked.
I can't wait to hear this. Please. What did you like, Benoit?
When they came back from the other dimension and they're all suffering, and you see the shot of Johnny Storm burning, sort of still alive, half dead, and he goes, Johnny, no! And then he's crawling across the floor and he can hear Ben screaming, but he can't find him. And he starts looking through the rocks. I was like, oh, this is great! And then it sort of fades to black and it fades up, and he's sort of not being tortured, but he's being scientifically experimented on. And he's there and he's stretching out. He's like, what did you do to me? Imagine a couple more of them. That was great.
That would have been amazing. Like it got so dark and real for a second that I was actually immersed at that stage. That was the
Which is
short
why
period
I
of
hated the
film.
1 year later thing so much, because it was just going. It was just getting amazing. It was getting fantastic. And then it said 1 year later. And all drama and all growth was taken out of it.
It basically put a whole stop onto finally this decent direction that it was going in. Like it took 3 steps on the right path, and then it said, you know what? We're going to shortcut into the future. No! God damn it!
I was reading an article that said the director Josh Trank was a weird choice for this. He did Chronicle, which is a superhero story about kids once again who get superpowers.
Michael B. Jordan's in it as well.
Yeah, and and the ramifications of what happens when you give kids powers. Basically, what would a bully do, or what would a bullied kid do if he had basically Superman's powers?
Yeah,
and that's awesome. That's great. It shows you the ramifications of that. This shows the ramifications of science, or sort of like the ramifications of the same thing. And that's when it was getting going. Like if we saw more of that stuff, I was thinking it has to be fun. It has to be like Avengers, but no, it doesn't. If it just had more of that stuff, like of the Thing being resentful, Grim should have been Grim.
Yeah, that was kind of. It felt like they didn't quite know what they wanted to do with the film, because the thing that made Batman, the reboot of Batman, the Christopher Nolan reboot, really, really interesting and kind of dark and they went with that. They went fully into that dark portrayal, where there's not really any fun bits. There's no happy-go-lucky bits. It's a serious, dramatic, and intense story. Now with Fantastic Four, they could have gone that route. As soon as they started being experimented on and they got those powers when they initially got those powers.
Yeah, and Reed Richards has to try and break out, and he's being, injected daily, and he's being dosed up, and he's all drowsy and stuff.
Exactly. That would have been awesome, and that would have been a great turn for this movie to take. But then they just went...
and he gets out in the open and he has to find a way out and like try and use his powers in the forest and get to Panama, essentially,
Yeah.
And then try and get back to his friends.
But they just said, no, you know what? No, we're not going to do that.
They just said 1 year later.
Yeah, we're just gonna sit on the fence, and we're just gonna not make this really happy and fun and just a fun and easy to digest action film like Fantastic Four in 2005 or like The Avengers. We're just gonna make this nothing. That's what it ended up with. We made this nothing. For me, the missing scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, a scene that I think is just it makes no sense not to have is when Victor Von Doom first decides to come in and work on the project and is introduced to Reed Richards. Victor Von Doom, Reed Richards, and Sue all get together into this room.
And how fucking young are they? How young are they all? It doesn't make any sense. You're all geniuses in your field. You're like 16.
And Franklin Storm is just like, he's basically inspiring them. He's like, is this going to be a speech? I think it's going to be a speech. The speech just comes out of nowhere for no reason. He's like, you guys are going to have to put your differences aside, and you're going to have to band together to create this and save the future for your generation. And you're just like, at what point did they say that they weren't going to band together? There was no scene in which Victor Von Doom clashed against Reed Richards.
Oh, yeah, good point.
To basically create friction. There was no friction between Sue Storm and Victor Von Doom and Reed Richards. It was all just assumed. And then it's just like, in comes Franklin and he goes...
That's a really good point.
Yeah, and Franklin just goes, all right, you guys, put aside your differences, get your shit together, we're going to make this. And you're just like, that's so preemptive. Why? What's the inspiring speech for? What's the inspiring speech used to combat?
Right, yeah. If Franklin had walked in and seen Richards and Victor in a punch-on, essentially over Sue.
Yeah.
Or
there was any sort of miskollaboration, like maybe Victor Von Doom wouldn't give up a
No, they alluded to it. They alluded to it when there was a whiteboard. And Reed Richards writes on...
You're going to do this again, aren't you? They alluded to it with this 5-second scene.
He writes on the whiteboard, and then Victor rubs it off and writes something else there. I guess it was sciencey stuff. I guess Victor's your maths was better or something, but, there was something.
It's like every qualm that we have, it's like, no, they alluded to it with this 5-second scene.
That made me cringe. I'll admit that little whiteboard moment. I bet you the script read, interior science lab. Reed writes some science. Victor rubs it off and writes better science. That was the moment. Oh, we get it. They're scientists and they're competing. God, it's so strange. Surely they would have come in and been best buddies to begin with. Actually, that would have been good.
That was the thing. Like, same with Johnny Storm. Like, Johnny Storm comes in, he's like, yeah, actually, I could use some help. Have you welded before? Yeah, man. Done.
The way these things should go is that Johnny Storm and Reed should have clashed heads at the beginning and then grown to be friends, learnt their usefulness or whatever. And Von Doom and
because they have
Reed,
so much in common.
Yeah, and Von Doom and Reed should have started as friends because they had so much in common, but realized that where they were going was completely different and sort of turned into enemies. Yeah, you're right. There was no start point that changed.
Right. So that's I think for me one of the quintessential scenes that was missing from this whole film. That there was no reason. There was no strain that was put on the relationship. There was no reason for Franklin.
It was just that Victor Von Doom was a bit of a dick.
Yeah, which he is for the whole film. Like that was set up at the very start.
I've got a major question. Was there a set piece? Anyone fighting anyone? Was there a fight?
the fight.
I can't remember a single fight.
The Doom. That was it.
There was, at the very end there.
At the very end. That's it.
Another moment when it was getting going, they've sent the Thing in to Panama to capture Reed Richards because, normal SWAT teams can't capture him because, he dodges the bullets and he punches them out. Pretty cool, huh? Suddenly, boom! The Thing lands and he's like, you're coming with me. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be cool. Imagine the Thing punching Reed Richards and him being all gooey and the punch is not sticking. Him being rubber, bam! And then Reed Richards trying to wrap him up and they sort of fight to a stalemate.
Yeah.
How cool would that have been? It even sort of looked like the sequences in Avengers when you get Thor versus Captain America or Iron Man versus Thor, you know what I mean? Like
the Hulk versus Thor.
Yeah. Those team ups, it's just fun to see them go at each other for a few minutes.
Yeah.
But no, the Thing headbutts Reed Richards.
Knocks him out.
Cut to them in the plane sort of being morose again.
Yeah, and it's like,
look at me. I'm not your friend anymore.
I disliked Avengers 2. But there was an amazing scene in the middle where the Hulk fights Iron Man in this Hulkbuster
in the
suit.
Huge Iron Man suit.
Yeah, it was great. It was like it was a fight sequence in the middle that really lifted the rest of the film for me. I don't think we saw the Thing do anything.
Nope.
We saw him on a monitor, like on computer monitors at the military base, and he's smashing a tank. That's all you see. It's basically offcuts from that Ang Lee Hulk film that we've already seen. And it's on a screen, you're not even there. You're not even like, yeah, come on, smash some stuff. Or he doesn't break out of the...
There are two moments that the Thing does anything. That is the final punch on Doom, which he says, it's clobbering time.
And he punches him once.
Once.
And he falls in this power generator thing and gets ripped apart.
I think that final fight lasts maybe 10 minutes. If that, probably maybe even 5.
And what's worse is that they're losing unequivocally. And then they say, let's fight together. They each throw basically one punch or they throw one flame ball and suddenly Doom's dead.
Yeah.
There's no to and fro. They're being beaten. Let's fight together.
Go together, and then we've won.
Yeah.
And that's it. And the second thing that the thing does, to continue on, is right at the very end when he says, "It's fantastic." You're just like, what?
And Reed says,
"No,
I think I got it." And then it cuts to the title.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Like just continuing on that dark sequence. When Reed Richards is breaking out and he sees his friend Ben Grimm as a pile of rocks, sort of pulling himself out.
That's
of the thing.
so cool.
That was cool. There we
So
go. That
cool.
was cool. Come on, that's gonna make you lift it above a 0.
Nope. Because they did nothing with it. They did nothing with it. I'm just gonna give you these little snippets of like, oh yeah, that's cool. No, we're not gonna really use that at all. It's just Ben Grimm's in pain. That's all you need to know. That's what this whole film is it's these little 30-second, 10-second, 5-second little shots that you just like are supposed to tell you all about the story.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Oh, it's gone?
It's
Oh,
gone
okay.
and it's done. And that's it. That's all you need to know. We're done. Hence why I think the entire freaking movie is just this shitty montage of thing after thing after thing after thing with no backbone and no story progression at all. That's it.
Yes, where we started this was that you're saying 0 stars, and I'm saying I liked it. But the thing is that I did not get my money's worth. But I still wanted more. You know, if there were more scenes, if there was... I know that sounds silly. If there was a film in there...
See, that's the thing. Like, how can you say that this is, a film worth any rating when you're just like, this film would have been great if we had the film. Like, what?
Yeah, it's 4 cardboard cutouts, standing in scenes, and with no real charisma.
Yeah.
And then some stuff happens. There's no fights, and at the end they beat the bad guy by punching him. Like,
That's it.
Yeah.
This is that you have just summed up all of Fantastic Four 2015 with that sentence right there.
Well, okay. Look, I'm not going to give it 0 stars. I'll give it 1.5 because
that's so high.
It's
so high.
1.5?
Yes, that's way too high. You're being way too nice.
I am being nice. I'm being nice because I like the thing, and there was some dark moments, and some there was something to take away. It's weird.
And the one thing that I do want to just quickly address is the non-existent love story and the non-existent love triangle that's supposed to play such a big part in the Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Victor Von Doom relationship. It was really like Victor Von Doom just comes in.
Did they?
No,
they didn't.
Here's the moment. I don't know if you'll remember it, but the moment that the relationship was established between Sue Storm and Reed Richards was at the end once they saved the world and they're overlooking this huge canyon of matter that's being pulled out of the earth. Yep. As they're zooming out away from Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four, Sue Storm lifts up that hand and puts it on his shoulder.
No.
That's it.
No.
That is it. That's what it is. Oh, yeah. So that was the issue, the love story between those two. So Victor Von Doom and Sue Storm. It was the extent of that love story was basically Victor got a little bit jealous when they finished the project and called Reed over. He's just like, "You're being unprofessional." And that was it. That was the display of Victor Von Doom's
cue punch on, or cue Victor taking him out back, or
cue anything.
Yeah.
But then you have the relationship between Reed and Sue Storm, which is just, she tracks him down. Does that mean that she understands him more than he understands her?
You admit she tracked him down. She tracked him down in that opening scene when they first meet. They didn't just happen to go to the science lab.
No, when Richard Reed's in Panama.
Oh no. That was the Patton scene. We need you to find Reed Richards. And she like sort of perks up going, "What? Because I can turn invisible? Because I can make force fields? Because I can use my telekinetic powers?" And he's like, "No, because of the patterns." Oh, that's right. I listen to music and I understand patterns. Therefore, I'm better than a computer at this stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Captain Nemo. That's what he's using.
Oh my god, they used They sat her at a computer and played some music and sort of dollied across and spun around her. And then she goes, found him. Here you have a character that is coming to terms with her ability to be invisible. And you sit her at a fucking computer? I changed tact. That's just awful. Imagine if they said that to the Thing. Thing, we need you to go after Reed. What, because I'm huge and a rock monster? No, I need you to sit at the computer because your hands are really big. Okay.
We have this specially designed keyboard for Thing fingers.
Oh my god. No one did anything.
No one did anything. Right?
The Thing didn't fight. The Human Torch only ever talked about taking out drones, and you saw one from a distance.
Which was just a training exercise.
Sue Storm was practicing against empty canisters. Something.
Why didn't they just have it the Fantastic Four versus the freaking military?
That would have been pretty cool.
That would have been cool. Like them breaking out of the facility, learning to work together, and it's like, well, the military's against us. We got to unite again. We got to unite and take the friends that we have.
That would have been pretty cool.
That would have been amazing. You know what they didn't do?
And they're shooting at Storm, and she's making shields, and and Things taking out planes and tanks and stuff. And Reed Richards is trying to come up with a plan and unite them. And Johnny Storm's burning down forests.
That's exactly what should have happened.
That would have been great.
You know what we got instead? This lackluster, storyless montage of little scenes to draw from something, some sort of massive story, which just, it was so bad.
I changed tact. 1 star.
I'm actually really happy that I was able to just really solidify how shit this film was in your mind.
This is Now Showing.